Hey, good morning. Today is May 4th. May the 4th be with you. Hope you love Star Wars as much as I do. Anyway, I wanted to do a garden tour just to see where everything stands right now. We have had a rainy spring in North Texas, and looking back at my pictures from last year, things are a little bit behind. So let me just go through and show you what I've got going here. I also want to preface that I live in an area that has a bad rabbit infestation, and the reason why I have all of this rabbit fencing is just to protect things from the rabbits. When they're hungry, they'll eat anything. They'll even jump up on shelves like that. If I don't have them completely full, if they see a place they can jump up, they will. If they can get up here on the windowsill to get onto one of these shelves, they will. I have seen rabbits do some crazy things. They can jump so high. So I'm doing my best to protect the plants that I have from them. And in my front yard, I only plant things that are like salvias and boxwoods and yaupon hollies. And they really have not bothered them too much. Not that I know of anyway. So anyway, I'm just blabbering on. Let's go over here to the raised bed and just take a look at that. Look at what is going here. I'm going to try to be quiet so I don't disturb my neighbor next door. So here I have carrots, and this is baby romaine. Next over in that next lane is kale, and then here in this last row is Merlot lettuce and Mizuno. Those are both free packets that I got from Baker Creek. And let me just see. Okay, I did not write the date that I actually planted these out, but it was the first week of March. So everything here is 2 months old, basically. I did plant a row of parsnips right here on the edge. I have never been able to get any parsnips to grow. So the only thing that came up there was some chickweed, and I've already pulled it up. Next, over in the vegetable side of my garden, I've got these little tomato, okay, let me go back and think about this. They're orange hat tomatoes, and they came from Baker Creek. I either get my seeds from Baker Creek or I get them from Botanical Interest, and I usually look for those at Callaway's or Walmart or Lowe's. These pepper plants that I have are the Bonnie pepper plants, and I got them at Lowe's. This one is the Purple Bell. This is a new one to me this year. I'm gonna try this heatless jalapeno. Here are chives that came up from seed. And oh, I should say that the tomatoes that I have are all from seed. So that tomato's from seed. This one is a super sweet cherry tomato, and it's an indeterminate. This little one in the pot, that's a determinate, and they're supposed to be cocktail tomatoes and to be grown in a pot this size. Then I have 2 more of those super sweet cherry tomatoes here. And this pepper is a mammoth jalapeno. Now, I was just noticing yesterday, I don't know if you can tell, but there are 2 big stems in there. Let's see if it'll focus. And I did not notice that when I first bought them. Getting interrupted by the Canadian geese all the time. I didn't notice that there were 2 plants in there. Yesterday I up-potted that from a smaller pot, and I tried to separate them, but I couldn't. They're so grown together that I just couldn't get them apart, and I was afraid I was going to kill one anyway, so I just left them both there together. I've never had mammoth jalapeno. I think it means not the bush is mammoth, but the actual jalapenos are mammoth. Continuing on this end, I have planted sweet peas here for the first time. I did grow these from seed, and you know, I put them in water, let them soak overnight. I started them out in little peat pots and then planted them all together here. I have this little trellis. You know, this is my first time. I've never even, I don't know what to do. So they're just going, and I'm hoping they'll climb up that little trellis I've made. This is a salvia, and I believe this is the Rockin' Fuchsia from Proven Winners. And I think it'll get going eventually. It's kind of slow right now, but we have had so much rain, like everything just hasn't really had time to catch up. In here, I direct sowed bread seed poppies, and then I've also got a gomphrena, a snow white gomphrena there, and milkweed that I started from seed this year. That's also my first time growing that too. And so okay, let me say that we have had a lot of pest pressure already this year too. So I'm thinking that this is a pretty good crop of poppies so far, because they really did get a hold of some of these leaves, whatever kind of, I don't know if it's slugs or snails. It's probably snails. But I'm thinking that that's looking pretty good. So everything in here except for this guy, I started from seed. So we have gomphrena. I've got 3 different colors of gomphrena. This is another one of those little orange hat tomatoes. Milkweed, more milkweed. This is anise hyssop, my first time trying that too. This is also anise hyssop. This is a big thing of milkweed. And right there is a butterfly bush that I had one in the front yard. Long story, but we had a kind of a refresh to our front flower beds, and I dug everything up, and somehow this stayed in the ground, and I went and pulled it out the other day, and I thought, well, you know what, I'll just let him kind of grow back here, because it's a little too harsh of an environment up there right now with the potential of the rabbits. So that's how my seedlings are doing here. I do have some more seedlings that I've got started on the inside my house, but we'll get to that later. This is Nicotiana, first time growing that, also from seed. Hollyhocks from seed, and then I think I'm gonna have to move this gomphrena because it's getting too much shade under those big leaves. Here is a dahlia from a tuber that I was given, and the package of tubers came from Costco, but I think they were probably a year old, and they really were not in good shape, and so I just thought, well, you know, I'll give it a shot, and it's coming up. So I'll just go along quickly in these containers that I've got. Everything else obviously in my garden is containers at this point. This is Supertunia Vista Jazzberry, and then I have a Verbena and a Lantana. Those are both from Callaway's, and Sweet Potato Vine. Here's an anise hyssop, and I also grew some coleus from seed this year, and so those are just some little seedlings. I didn't have a place to put them, so I stuck them back there, and so they can kind of grow up in the shade. Here we have 2 different kinds of petunias I started from seed, and this is a pink Senorita Zena, and that is the I'm not sure if it's Raven, and it's Sweet Potato Vine, but it's the darker purple kind. In this planter, I have parsley. That was a start that I got at Callaway's, but dill from seed. We have agara that I rescued from another pot. It was teeny tiny and it's about to bloom. There's one little yarrow, Coreopsis, and Mesa Red Gaillardia. And then here is a tricolor sage, and that spot is being reserved for basil. And basil is one of the things that I have growing from seed inside. Over here, one of my favorite coleuses, it's a Proven Winners Oh man, how do I do that? I start talking and then I can't remember what I was gonna say. It's proven winners. Oh, you know what? Hey, let's look at the tag. There it is, fishnet stockings, of course. And this is a Swedish ivy. Have a little pot of thyme here. And then on this side, this rosemary I grew from seed. It's been in this pot for 3 years now. And then this menagerie is kind of a repeat of everything else that I already have. So there's that fuchsia salvia, there's creeping Jenny, golden creeping Jenny, yarrow. I have 2 different kinds of zinnias in here that I see right now. Well, actually 3, because there's the pink senorita, that's queen lime orange, and that's queen lime blush. No, queen lime red. Here's a geranium that I picked up at Green Acres in Irving. In this little pot, we have a zinnia plant coming up. Here's a lemon queen that I planted at the beginning of April, so not even a month old. And then right down in here, I can't remember if I put a dahlia tuber from last year in there or if that's something that a squirrel planted. Probably it's like from an acorn. I'm just waiting to see what's going to happen there. Squirrels. We also have squirrels pretty bad here too. And you can see all the trees that are back here on the green belt. They've got lots of places to live, but they always come pay us a visit over here, I don't know, several times a day, and I'm always running them off. Right now, at this point, I've got 2 zinnias here. Again, pink senorita and queen lime red. I put milkweed in here too, and there's extra area here for some of the petunias that I've got started on the inside. Here we have more of that same lantana, verbena, and sweet potato vine. All right, here. This is very exciting. These are California poppies that I started from seed here. I just threw a bunch of poppy seeds in here. Back in, let me see if I left the tag. Yes, March 10th. And that looks like a bud. I also put a Gara in here and a gomphrena plant. I also, yesterday, I just stuck a couple of sunflower seeds down in there so that once the poppies are done, there will be something else to kind of come up and bloom and, you know, have something to do in this planter. All right, over here, this big Gara I have had since 2021, and I bought it as a little bitty guy for $2 at Kroger. If you happen to go back and look at any of my videos, you would probably see one of the plant hauls that I did back then. I love this Gara. You know, obviously it comes back every year. It's a huge beast now. But it just looks so great all the time. And you can really, from out there on the green belt where people walk and jog, I go out there sometimes and you can see it way over there too. Here's more of that same lantana. And then there's also, that's a queen lime red zinnia that's in there. Yesterday, I planted a bunch of sunflower seeds here. I had other sunflowers in here earlier this season. I started from seed inside back in February, and maybe I can insert a picture. I don't know if I have one or not, but they were the spindliest sunflowers I have ever seen, and they only grew about 2 or 3 feet, where Lemon Queen usually gets 4 or 5 feet. So I don't know, I think maybe it was just this crazy spring that we've had. Here's Supertunia, Vista Jazzberry again, more sweet potato vine. This whole thing will be full probably by June. Here's another zinnia. This is a giant zinnia, and I don't know, something has been chewing on it. I've never seen that happen to zinnias before. This is a quick fire fab hydrangea, and I've also had this one since 2021. It blooms, it looks beautiful, but then in the summertime it scorches. So I've never been able to have it go all the way to the fall where I get those aged out maroon blooms. Now that I've got it in this container, I think I might be able to, once it starts blooming, move it around to my shade area, which I'm not going to show you because that is a work in progress, but maybe I can move it to a shade area and it can last till the fall. I don't know, we'll see. This is a So Sweet Hosta. I've had this since 2021 and it really needs to be divided, but it's so full and gorgeous. Over there, this year I decided just to transplant a bunch of the irises that I had in the front yard and put them back here, and they really have enjoyed being here. I had lots and lots of blooms, and then that red that you see is a dianthus that I just planted a little while ago. It was in a container here. Red just doesn't go with anything else that I have, so I kind of got rid of it a little bit. Now this is the area where I usually put things whenever they need shade, because this yard gets morning sun and afternoon shade, but out here it's not going to be shaded until usually about 5 o'clock. But back here starts getting shade about 2 or 2:30. So another fishnet stockings, and that is a Vka Vine. Oh, there goes a little teeny tiny bunny. Sorry. A Vka Vine. This is more of that same verbena, plus these are petunias. There are 2 petunias and 2 verbenas in this container. These petunias I started from seed. They are the royal mix, so I didn't have any idea I was planting 2 of the very same kind, but it's fine with me because I really do like it when there's like a blast of the same color. Back in here is a Starfish Saria that really probably shouldn't be outside. He stayed outside all last year and did great. I've taken off a bunch of pups. I've given some pups away, and I've got some on the inside now. And so it's kind of an experiment to see, you know, what does better, outside or inside. Okay, now this little guy I had to rescue from the front yard. I don't know what happened. I don't know if the damage is bugs, rabbits, not getting enough sun. I don't know. But we're going to rehab him. We're going to see what happens. That came from Callaway's. Here's an elephant bush. This was new last year. I had one in another container, but when we had the freeze of 2022, it didn't make it. So he's a new guy. Here are some more things that I started from seed. There's Nigella. I have never had that germinate before, so I'm excited. More hollyhocks, more coleus. There's a zinnia and 2 straw flowers. Here we have an empty pot that's waiting for something. Again, I've got stuff in seed inside the house, and so I wanted to have places to put them when they get old enough. Here's another Nicotiana. We have 2 straw flowers here, and then 2 black-eyed Susan. Coleus. That's one that I rooted on the inside from a cutting. Here's purslane. Okay, I wish maybe I'll insert a picture the next time they open up. This is what it's supposed to look like, and because I've bought purslane before from Callaway's and the tag was wrong, it did not look like that. Y'all, it does. It looks exactly like that. It's so beautiful when it blooms. In here, there are 2 hostas. There's a wire vine and some more of that coleus that I started from seed. So let me just back up. This is how things are looking right now. Oh, let me go out here and show you what's going on out there. There are 3 moonflower plants in this planter. So I've got this little trellis. My whole idea was to have this go up the fence and go down to the left. And then there's also sweet potato vine here. And then here. This is my first time growing loofah from seed. There are 3 plants in here, so I had 3 out of 4 germinate for a loofah, and I had 3 out of 4 germinate for moonflower. So they're finally getting big enough, and they're starting to grab onto the fence. I'm really excited about that. If I can just keep Mr. Squirrel, he likes to come and dig. If I can just keep him, you know, away until they get big enough, I think we're gonna be okay. There's also gomphrena here and sweet potato vine. So I'm really making this video for my reference because I want to be able to see week to week, month to month, how this is going. It's such a nice cloudy day today, I couldn't really pass up the idea of making a video. So if this video is live and public, thank you for watching. My name's Stacy and I live in North Texas. This is supposed to be zone 8B, I think, which I'm not sure I agree with because we've had a couple of really rough winters. All that being said, thanks for tuning in, and I'm going to attempt to make more videos this summer and keep up with how everything is going. So have a great day, y'all.